Hello, Jones S here. This is Bridget Fundi. Today on Jones S Garage, I'm going to be taking a look at the locks on an MG Midget. You see, recently I lost my entire set of keys, house keys and all, and MG keys, everything. So I took the locks off of my car, the trunk lock and then also the ignition lock, and took it into a local locksmith to try and see if they could have a key cut to it. They were able to do it. And so now I'm going to be taking a look to see exactly what they did and how good of a job they did and what needs to be done with the car now. So let's take a look, shall we? As you know from the previous episodes, this is the original lock that came with the car. You can tell because this one has this little tab removed. I bought a replacement and you can see what exactly is missing, this little electrical tab. Now, this one was recently taken into the locksmith, and it's got a key that seems to work okay in it. There's one little issue that I think I need to show you. If we look very closely at this locking mechanism in here, you can't see it very well in this shot, but there are some ridges that have worn in around this that now prevent the steering wheel lock from popping all the way up. And in just a moment I'll show you how that's interfering with operation. But first let's take a look at the door locks. You see, I got a key cut for the door locks and the trunk locks because never before in the entire time I'd owned the car did I actually have keys that would fit. So let's come over here, take a look at this door. This is the door lock, obviously. Now, the locksmith said that when they were trying to put the trunk lock, cut a key for the trunk lock, that the locks were so old, worn out, and rusted that they had to soak it overnight just to get the thing to turn. And it seems like that's actually the case with these door locks, too. Let's see if that's how it worked with the trunk lock. Okay, so here I've got the trunk lock, and I've got the key for it. It just sort of goes in like this, obviously. And it turns very easily inside. But, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to lock anything. The mechanism inside must be really badly rusted or stuck or something, because it just does not lock. So I'm guessing that the best bet would be to either try and soak this in Evaporust and see if I can get something inside there to start working again, or just replace the entire lock completely. And this would go with the doors too, because they seem to be hopelessly stuck. Alright, so let's take a look at my brother's steering column here. You remember this from a previous episode probably. The rear steering wheel, and you can see that it's just locked the steering wheel to the steering column here. Fortunately, I still have the key. Now, the way this normally works is you're able to push in the spring-loaded mechanism. There's a barrel here, spring-loaded barrel. You push this in, you turn it, and then it releases it. Now, that's exactly the way it should work. You should be able to push it in quite a fair amount. Let's get a little bit closer look at this. When we look closely, we can see that this should go in quite a bit. You can't really even unlock it. It won't let you push it any further without pushing it in and turning. So it should operate, at least on this particular model. And I remember it being exactly the same way on my Midget before I removed the steering column. Alright, so this is the ignition lock that I just got keyed. And we can see that it turns just fine like this, but it has lost all operation and the ability to push in and out. Something must have happened in the dismantling that would have been different. And there's not much I can do about it. I tried talking to the locksmith about this. He insisted it wasn't his fault. Anyway, the good news is it can still be removed and inserted easily without any difficulty. Now, the other issue is those ridges I was telling you about in here. If we look closely, we might be able to see them right along this edge in here. There are some ridges that have come out because as the steering column is turned through this, it's worn away at the metal and then sort of mushroomed out the metal a bit. This could have also happened as it was tightened down a bit too much or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how it happened. The point is that it needs to be fixed in order for operation to be restored. Now I'm going to try to use this file to see if I can get some of these ridges out. This is a little large, but I don't really seem to have much other option here. My garage is a bit of a mess, as you can see, but let's see what we can do here. Turns out the chisel seems to be working a lot better. This metal in here is actually aluminum. It's very, very soft. Not very secure, but I think I'm actually able to get it to work now. And lo and behold, there goes your steering column lock. Seems to be working just fine. And the whole system just seems to be working. So even if it doesn't push in like it should, I'm not going to complain much. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that locksmiths do great work. I was really impressed with what they were able to do by cutting these keys from basically nothing. But at the same time, I would advise anyone who's looking to try and get them rekeyed to probably just go ahead and replace the door locks and the trunk locks, because they do offer a kit that does the whole thing. Now I recognize that the door locks are a bit of a pain, but we'll cover that at another episode at a later date, because apparently I do need to remove them and soak them and service them somehow. This is Joan Zest signing out. I want to wish you all safety fast until next time. Bye.